Hey folks, just a friendly reminder that all shows on the Madness Comic Network are produced by their individual hosts and in no way reflect the opinions of the network as a whole. The statements in the following broadcast are not necessarily the opinions of the Madness Comic Network, its staff, sponsors, or contributors. This show is rated TVMA, as are all of them and all those other letters. Viewer discretion is highly advised, and, just do what Doc says. Read that again. Peace, everybody. Hey, yo, y'all know me, Pops Van Zandt from the Madness Comic Network. The Madness Comic Network coming to Roku. You can check out our preview channel right there, right now. Look, we're bringing all of our content to Roku. I'm excited. You should be, too. A shout out to Hart Fisher at the American Horrors Channel, baby. Woo! You know what's up.
Flip City Magazine is just really pulling out all the stops, man. Your guys' production value of this magazine has gone insane. I mean, look at that. I mean, I remember when you guys, it was black and white. Even when it was black and white, I thought your quality was great. But damn, they just really stepping it up a notch. Look at this. James Corbett, boys. James Corbett.
Genuinely cutting. But also funny, and obviously just chaotic and very fun.
I love Flip City. It has brought new types of badassery and integrity to the print medium.
Madness Comic Network and comic-related madness proudly presents Madness Tuesday Morning Brew. Tune in to our content on Comic Talk with Pops Van Zandt on YouTube.
Good morning. It is Tuesday in this hot mess of a house in Texas. I don't know what it is, but when my kids are off school, just getting places and doing things on time is such a hassle. I don't know. It's just how it is. But anyway, we're here today, and I'm so excited you guys are here because I have a returning guest, and we are going to have a giveaway today. I'm so excited. I love doing these. We're going to play a little trivia game about apocalyptic things, I should say, movies, properties, and I can answer some of these, and I'm going to keep tally of who does the best here, then you're going to have something for free today. I'm so excited. So excited. Just a quick update on Path of the Pale Rider. We are still stalled. If anybody wants to come give my campaign like a little nudge to get it moving again, that would be great. We've been doing the back and forth thing. So like we get a backer, lose a backer, get a backer, lose a backer. So we've gone forward 2. Well, technically we've gone forward 5 and gone backwards 3 in the last couple days. So the other thing I'm going to do today is open up the books. So there's 3 spots left, but they're all on the. Hey, thank you. That's great. I know. Thanks, Johnny. I am going to open these up. I'm going to have 3 spots of add-ons. So if you guys want to add on or you want to pick a level and add on a book, I will make these available. The other thing I'm going to make available are the pillow plushies. There's a few of these on the big tier as well. I'm going to make these available as an add-on as well. So there'll be 3 spots to add on the plushies and 3 spots to add on the books. I do have I have brand new news today for everybody. If you are a returning backer, hold on a second here. Let me get this up here. If you're a returning backer, you will be getting one of these. But it's a big James Care Bear sticker. Isn't he cute? Lacey Kruger put these together for me. And they're fabulous. So if you're a returning backer, you get one of these. If you're backed one of my previous projects, come on down. You can join us in the trade paperback, and you can get one of these exclusive Big James stickers with this campaign. Returning backers only. So you can get one of those. Anywho, I'm going to bring in my guest. You all should know him by now because he's been on the show a couple times, but let us all welcome Timothy Fling. Good morning, Tim. How are you?
Good morning. Good morning, Laurie. Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
I'm excited that you stepped in because we had another guest scheduled for today. And the funny thing is sometimes people forget that we're a morning show. And so they're like, oh, I have to be at work. I'm like, oh no. I'm like, who wants to come on the show? So
hey, I took some advice from you. That happens all the time. And we do Friday nights. And what I do is I now book 4, and that's how you get 2.
Yes.
And that's not in any way disparaging anybody, because I do that too. You forget this show or that show. Everybody's got a life. At the same time, we're all trying to, we're all busy.
And it's no hard feelings. Everybody has stuff going on and no big deal. But that's why I was like, who wants to come on the show tomorrow?
I do too. And thanks for giving me the shot, Laurie, because there's 2 things that I have which I can announce. And you can know here before anybody else does, because it's this coming Friday is the digital release of Water Wars 2288, the Ultimate Edition. It is actually ready. We're trying to, time some things and have some releases and stuff. But we will give away to the. Hey, hold on, William. I know William.
Chad. Dude, we got some haters in the comments this morning.
That's how I know I made it, Laurie. I got my haters,
Chad's always like, good morning, nerds. And we're like, yes, we take that as a compliment. We love you too, nerd.
Yeah.
Tim.
Yeah, Aaron too, man. I got all my pals are here. Hey, Chad. Good to see you.
Chad
So
sent you a heart, so we
that
feel
was the
better.
first step of what we were trying to accomplish. And we are going to give away a copy of it here today on the air. And one of the reasons why, first of all, because you guys are going to have fun answering some trivia questions with Laurie. And second, it's also a little bit like being my editor, because you'll be able to see it. And if you saw some flaw, you could give me a heads up before the darn thing goes out on
Isn't
Friday.
that always how it goes? So people are like, hey, by the way. And I'm just like, oh, hey, let me change
Well, and
that.
that's why we started doing I started doing my digital releases first.
That's smart.
Yeah.
I usually end up doing that too, just because it's ready.
It's
And
ready
I know
faster,
people
yeah.
are waiting. So it's like, here's a digital, read it. You know, you always do that binge read. Like I always read it super quick because I need to know what happens. Right.
Yeah.
And then I go back with the physical copy and I take my time. And that's where I find like all the Easter eggs and I read into the story and really like consume it.
Well, and I see in the comments there, William, waiting on the Water Wars books. Man, you guys, it came out so nice. I think you're really
Today?
yeah, it is going to be the best one yet. And the building stuff is done. I'll give you guys a quick production update. We can do that today too, which is the print order is already in. But see, I like time everything. I don't have a proof yet. So the next thing you'll see is me with one in my hand and what they call a proof. They make you a physical copy so you can look through it and make sure there's no mistakes, anything like that.
Yes.
That usually takes, let's see, I sent it in last week. That usually takes, it's got to be 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Yeah, usually. Yeah.
They're pretty fast as far as that part. And then it'll fulfill from there. I'm fulfilling them myself.
I know. I fulfill all my own stuff too, so I feel you. And for everybody, I got some of my books this weekend too for issue number 4 we've been waiting on. And it was a small portion, but I did get books as well, so those will be going out.
I got a little bit of a reprint happening this week. If you guys, William's in the comments, check out that chrome logo.
Oh my God, look at that.
It came out great, right? That's of course the second volume. The first volume is the one that everybody's pledged to. So if you have those 2 volumes, it makes a set now. And we're even looking into having a slipcase made for them.
A slip, like a dust jacket?
Well, what it is, it would be it's like a cardboard box that holds 2 books perfectly, and then it has like the artwork wrapped around the box. It's pretty cool. But the problem is, Laurie, that it cost as much to make the slipcase as it did the book. I'm not kidding around, because it's an unusual shape is the first thing, and then the second thing is I don't order enough of them. It's not. It's it's
what
like anything
person
else.
asked for a slipcase on this show?
Yeah, it might have been.
It is cool stuff. It's so hard. You want to do cool stuff and you want to make like things to stand out from the crowd, but
yeah, I remember it. William, it was Dan Schmidt. I think we all know.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, and he was like, "Oh, this would be perfect with a slipcase." And that's one reason, Laurie, why I like to talk to people like you and the people in the comments, because I don't always think of this stuff. Sometimes it comes from somebody else, and you go, "Oh man, that is a great idea. I can't believe I didn't think of that."
I was thinking of that for someday when ours are done, but it's like we're so far away from that right now. It's just like write it down as a note. We'll get there someday. What did Hugo from another campaign I bagged? Slipcases are hard. I don't know. What do you mean hard? Like hard to make, or like they go hard, like they're super cool? Like elaborate. I don't, because we could take that either way. Hugo, I prefer nerd. Oh, they're still talking to each other about being called nerd by Chad. Chad called everybody a nerd. Lovingly. I always like throw in those like nerdy insults and then say, with love, darling. And it's supposed to fix it all.
Well, and as you guys know out there in internet land, I'm a little bit pals with Laurie, and also I'm pals with Chad and Aaron, at least to the extent of where we appear on each other's shows. And Aaron and I have worked on a couple of small things together. Laurie and I never collaborated in any works, I guess, because we're both writers. I'd love to. If you ever want a Western song, Laurie, I'm pretty decent.
I do. I definitely do. I know we need to talk about some stuff, and I definitely want to do like some binding, like book binding for you as well.
I am sold on that. There's a lot of things. I want to just talk about Laurie real quick. There's a couple of neat things about Path of the Pale Rider. And I think we talk often about how we can make our projects stick out in the marketplace. And I love the fact that you are creative in the way that you do things that nobody else is doing. And, again, don't hear that Tim is busting on creators right now. Okay.
Yeah.
Say I'm talking about myself. But God, if I see one more bookmark or trading card or plushie, I'm going to scream.
But people love them.
I know they do, but and by the way, that's just me. That's just me, right?
I'm there too, though, because I'm the same way. I'm like, I have 17 bookmarks. I love all the bookmarks. They're super cool, but I want something different,
Laurie, I ripped on myself. I do 11 trading cards now.
You're like, I'm tired of these.
We're talking about doing a set of, I might have a Kickstarter just of the set of cards, like a master set, something like that.
Ooh, like all in foil or something.
Yeah. Let's hit Johnny C's comment there. The best campaign booster
are ones that are practical that people would use in their everyday life. Almost anything could be white labeled or for custom branding or resale. Okay, so I want to talk about this because not only just rebranding, but have it be related to your story. Like, I have hot sauce. That doesn't really work, but somehow it does.
Kind of does. I think it does.
We rebranded it with the Path of the Pale sauce, so it has like Big James on it. But like, for example, one I'm working on for next time. So my short film that I'm currently working on, I have an undead guy, and his wife calls him Stinky. So in the next scene, you see him walking around with like a bunch of air fresheners attached to him. So I think it'd be really funny if we did a Path of the Pale Rider air freshener. No?
Yeah, it would. And when you say if something can work, it's really all in if you can make it work,
Yeah.
There's always, if you're creative, you can make it work. And I think your example of doing the book binding is the type of thing that's, I mean, let's be honest, nobody's doing that.
Yeah. It was something that was attractive to me. I like crafting. A lot of times, like, I'll do our stickers and I'll do thank you cards and I'll do them myself, right? Because I have a Cricut and I have the tools to do it. So when I was like, I saw it on TikTok, people making books, and I was like, oh, I so want to do that. But they were doing it for fan fiction, which you can't sell. You cannot distribute. Of course, they're just making it for themselves to keep. But I was like, but this is my story. So I can do anything I want with it. Right. So I just thought, like, what a perfect way for me to be crafty and give someone like a unique experience, some shelf candy, right? You can read these. Some of the print is a little bit tiny when it's like the white, because I have like closed caption, right? Spots when like the TV is talking, right? But there's closed caption. That's a little bit small, but the rest of it's perfectly legible. So but these all come with a copy of the trade anyway. So it's like, if you want to read it, please read the color, the beautiful version. And then you can flip through this one and you already know the story. So anyway, Scratch and Sniff.
Would you guys like to see, I know Laurie's a book builder. Would you guys like to see, we've been doing some production stuff this week, and this is some of the things I'm going to share to my backers. And I thought, hey, well, if I'm going on Laurie's show, if people are interested, they can also take a look. And one of the things that we were working on is to make things that feel like they're a little bit more booky, I call it. Or I work a lot with Matthias Zanetti. He's a letterer and designer. And of course, our main designer is the mystical shaman, Mr. Luis Santamarina. So he did the works that you're about to see here next. And Matthias calls it letting the story breathe. And this is like buffer pages on either side of your comic. So many of us, myself included, we tend to start making our book and we just jam the thing full of pages. But people like not only sometimes white pages, or sometimes even like a blank page. Some graphic novels you open up, there's 2 or 3 blank pages in there, right? Before you even get to the author. So now, of course, there's a cost concern. So you don't want to put a bunch of pages in that don't serve a purpose. But ours, we wanted it so when you open it up, it gave you a little bit of, like a prelude, sort of, right? Okay. So it looks kind of like this. So you open up the first one. I'll let you see. Yeah, so it gives you the Earth Dog Studios presents, right? And that's a double, right? So what you're seeing there is the interior front cover.
Yeah, so it would be like this, people. So you're going to see like that.
Right. And the cover, the exterior cover, it sort of looks like it's metal. And it's got a little bit of a chrome logo. So the idea is that it's sort of like this rusted metal tome, right?
Cool.
So yeah, that's the first one. And then you turn the page. It's Earth Dog Studios presents, and then it's Water Wars 2288, right?
Oh, so you added, yeah.
Yeah. So it's 2 pages worth of that. And what you're seeing there, those are the variant wrap covers and this is the black and white version, sort of rusted, and I thought you might get a kick out of seeing it because this is a lot of things that people don't talk about when they're making their book, right? So,
Yeah.
and this is something I'm not kidding you guys. We worked on this the better part of 2 weeks. We looked at a way. Yeah, Chad, right? Customers have told me that they like that. And by the way, there's one in the back too, like it breathes. Okay, it breathes. And the idea is that it's thematic because it's all on metal and it's all scenes like that are in the book. And of course, it features the various artists too, which we wanted to, kind of shine a light on some of our artists. And the truth is, we looked at it with color. There was a version where it was like spattered with blood. It was too much. It was too much, right? And then we're like, man, dial
it's
it
better in
way
my
back.
book. Splatter everything with blood.
Well, but it goes back to that theory that sometimes a single drop of blood is more effective than the whole spatter, right? Because like the more we dialed it back, I was looking for I'm a little bit more of a minimalist than some people are. Less is more, right?
Well, and I think it just depends. It just, I like the details too. And like you said, if it's a splatter, then it's like you get lost in the splatter. It's not any one drop of blood is important. But if it's like 2 drops of blood and they're strategically placed, it's like, oh, well, what's this mean? You know?
Or do you know Aaron Wroblewski?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. He's one of my guys who I'm promoting his book as well, right? So we have a little stable of people whose books we're promoting.
Hey, George.
And one of the things that he did that's super cool is, it's a black and white, or at least like a gray tone book, right? But like when the samurai swings his sword at the guy's throat, there's like a little arc of red blood, like there's one color in it.
Yes.
It's really neat the way he did it.
Brandon,
I guess you call that a monotone. Is that? I'm not sure if it's
like black, white, and blood.
Yeah,
you know what I
black, white,
mean?
blood.
It's weird because Brandon Starucci does that too in Avalon.
Oh, right,
He always
right.
has, he has black,
He's
white,
one
and
color.
blood. So yeah, it's interesting. And I almost did that for myself until I found out I'd have to print in full color, and I was like, nix that.
Yeah, it's funny. Backers have asked me because we print a black and white book now, and people said, "Oh, so it's less expensive for the black and white book." Well, no. In my case, it's more because there's more production to go back and make everything black and white and a lower print run. So my black and whites cost a hair more than the colors.
Dang it. There's just no break these days. Can we talk about that? No, let's not. I don't want to turn this into a venting session, but
I'll show you the other reason why it's more is this has a chrome logo. Also, there's your.
Look at that.
Gives you see that shiny green.
Yeah.
And of course, the
That's
book
fitting.
itself is then a black and white horror book. So yeah, that's the kind of stuff we're experimenting with the prints of,
Less than the viewer, I will fill in the gore.
Yeah, I think Glenn's right. Yeah, Glenn's right.
Yeah. It's also the same thing with monsters. They're more scary when you don't see them.
Yeah.
It's almost like, I don't know. I saw that movie Smile. Did you see that movie, Tim? Smile?
I did.
And it was so scary when the monster could be anybody. And then at the very end, when the monster showed up, I was less scared.
Oh, yeah.
No? Was that just me?
No, I wouldn't have got that. But I guess the more obvious example to me would be something like...
it's like the Jaws effect.
Yeah. And you know why? Because he's got the dun-dun. Like, you don't even see him. But as soon as
you
you
don't know where he is.
Scare it. Yeah.
Right. And Smile was that way too. It's like you don't know if any of these people who are smiling at you are just people or if it's the monster. But then when you see, and of course, again, the monster is done in CGI. So at the end, it kind of takes you out if you're like, oh, it's CGI. You know
I
what
see
I mean?
in the comments, William Pace, Matt Wagner did a black, white, and red Devil by the Deed for Grendel. I remember that book.
Those are so
Grendel
cool.
fan. Yeah,
With
I
Sin
love
City. I need more of those. Maybe I should. No, I was gonna say maybe I'll go do mine. I'm like, oh God, I need to do less. I'm still trying to finish my short film. Like I'm fulfilling my issue 4. I'm kickstartering this one. It's all gonna get done, and then we got to pick up issue 5 and start running again. What's this? That was same for me with Signs. Yeah, once you saw the alien, was like, eh. As in Psycho, you never actually see the knife go into Janet Leigh. She was. Didn't she have PTSD? She couldn't take a shower, Janet Leigh, after that movie.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, she could only take baths. I don't know.
Well,
Anyway, show us
it's a
more
pretty
cool stuff.
pretty solid point that somebody who likes Psycho or that type of movie is going to like comics or sequential art, because
Yeah.
Hitchcock was like the master of somebody's getting murdered and it shows the drain and then it shows the curtain, like it shows everything except the murder.
Except the yeah. I need to go watch more Hitchcock.
My favorite Hitchcock film is The Birds. I know Psycho is the big classic, but I like The Birds.
I'm sorry. You didn't like the large spider at the end? The big, giant, creepy spider? Again, it was CG. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Computer graphics to me, when you can tell it's computer graphics, will take me out. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You gotta have practical effects.
You got to. You got to. Do you want to do some trivia while everybody's here? Let's do it now.
Yeah,
There's
absolutely.
a ton of people in the chat. You guys ready? We're gonna do a giveaway of
let me pull up. I'll get a graphic for us too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll put it up there.
So you guys saw the 2 introductory pages.
Mm-hmm.
The book itself. I'm sorry, I got to go through my files.
No, who is it? The Boogeyman was like that too. Then the big reveal at the end was cool, but it kind of took you out. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if you would love this Spider Lou, but clowns. Nobody likes the clowns. The grossest part was when he was waving with the hand. Remember, he was waving with someone else's hand. He was like, eh. It was like, oh, that's so gross.
Okay, can we view that?
Here we go.
So I guess probably the easiest way to do this is maybe we can collect the email or something, but you could be one of the first people to receive the digital PDF of Water Wars 2288, the Ultimate Edition. And yes, this will have the extra footage, what we call the deleted scenes, and it's also got the banned story, which is unusual for us, just a suggestive little bit of nudity. I'm not even sure I would call it nudity.
Okay.
To refresh your memory, there is a Lovecraftian goddess who emerges from another dimension, and she's in her birthday suit when she comes through the portal.
Well, I mean, why would she be wearing clothes? It wouldn't make any sense.
That's what I said. It was funny. It was my second time working with an editor, but it was the first time I had to make a pretty major change.
Yeah.
And I remember we all laughed about how they didn't have any problem with the extinction of all human life.
Right.
But that girl doesn't have a bra on.
No boobs. Extinction okay. Boobs no. Boobs not okay. All right, guys. I hope you have your thinking caps on. We got 5 questions. And I hope you enjoy apocalypse movies, games, and whatever, because that's what we're going to ask questions about today. All right. Let me see here. I'm going to say correct and incorrect.
Maybe I'll see if I can answer one.
I was like, yeah, we'll see. I think you should get some of these, most of them.
Okay, yeah, I'll try one.
All right, first question, everybody. This is from the Book of Eli, of course, Denzel Washington movie. There's a part of the movie where Denzel is captured by Gary Oldman's character and placed in a room. Now, there's a movie poster on the wall in this room. What is the movie poster for? What movie? You have to tell me the movie.
I don't know that one. I don't know.
You know this movie, though.
Oh, yeah. It's one of my all-time favorites.
No, I mean, you know the movie poster. The movie that it is also I'll give you hints. Another apocalypse film that's really well known and a classic.
Oh, that's a good
guess.
clue.
Yeah, Eli wouldn't know. He's blind. That's correct. But you, as the viewer, would have seen it on the wall. This one's actually pretty hard because you would have to have seen the movie probably a few times. Chad says War of the Worlds. Anybody else want to give it a stab? Mad Max? It's a good guess. Think older than that. Come on, people, take a guess.
The Last Man on Earth. The Omega Man.
Omega Man, says Tim. Dawn of the Dead is William.
That's a good one. Maybe Dawn of the Dead.
Casablanca, Chad. For real. Anybody else want to take a guess? What is the movie poster on the wall in the cell where Denzel is being held in Book of Eli. It's an apocalyptic film. Classic. I'm going to wait 5 more seconds. You can throw a guess in there because they're funny. Escape from New York. I'm just here for a second in the comics. Hello, Laurie and Tim. Kick some butt. What are their birthdays?
Well, we got a video coming out with Matt this week.
Yay, that's cool. Hi, Matt. Thanks for stopping in, bud. Okay, Chad. Okay, Chad. All I gotta say. Gone with the Wind. Definitely not an apocalypse film. I wouldn't put it there. Okay, so the answer is, and unfortunately nobody got it, is A Boy and His Dog.
Oh,
which is such a classic, right?
Yeah,
1975, A Boy and His Dog is one of like really good apocalyptic film. And there is a poster of that in the cell where Denzel is. Yeah,
Isn't
there
that
you go.
cool?
It's A Boy and His Dog. His
Yeah,
oog.
that's great. A Boy and His Oog.
All right, nobody got that one. We're going to play the second one. This is a one that I know people will get. All right. Fallout, the video game, also a really popular apocalyptic franchise. There's been multiple versions, but the original video game, what year did it come out? Boy and His Magui? That's a different movie. Don't feed it after dark. What year did the original Fallout video game come out?
No, it's the first Fallout was pretty old, I think.
Let's see.
I think
2004, 1998.
I'm going to take a guess. I'm a Fallout fan, but I didn't really start till Fallout 3. I'm going to say, well, let's see, Fallout 3 was...
Stop saying Casablanca, Chad.
I think
1982, that's a little too old.
Fleming's closer, I think.
97.
I'm going to say 80. I'm going to say 88.
88. Wow, really? 1976. Fallout, the video game. The
first Fallout video game was like a top-down. It was like the little sprites, you know. By the way, you guys excited for the Fallout TV series? Starts April 11th.
Yes, I am. The trailer looks fabulous.
Yeah.
That's one game that I really enjoy and I consistently play.
Me too.
We actually had an answer that was correct. Pops got it. It's 1997.
Oh, congrats, Pops.
So congratulations, Pops. You are now in the lead with 1 point. So let's see. 1988. Were we playing video games like of that kind in 1988? I don't think we were. Never played it. Oh, you need to fix that.
Yeah, check it out. Highly recommend.
Who got it without Google? Pops did. Pops plays that game, so I know. All right. Next question. Mad Max Thunderdome, 1985. What is the name of Tina Turner's character? Tina Turner, yes, in Thunderdome, 1985, Mad Max, a great apocalypse movie series. They have a bunch of them. They have another one coming out soon, which is Furiosa. Tina Turner is played a character. What is her character's name? The Ice Queen. Simply the best. No. Her name is not Ike. You guys are funny.
Lots of jokesters today.
I thought it was the Acid Queen Pops. You're on the right track. It is Auntie something. I'll give you that much. It's Auntie something.
Marmaduke.
Chad, I have to wonder sometimes. What are you thinking? Just curious. Tommy reference. From Tommy?
Oh.
That's it. Hugo got it.
Nice. Congrats.
It's Anti-Entity. Infinity close. It was Anti-Entity. All right. Pops and Hugo are now tied. This one, I think, if you guys have seen this movie, you will get this next one because it was a very very poignant part of this film. So in 2009, The Road. Everybody's seen that one?
Too. Yeah.
Great movie, right? So dirty and gritty and dark. A more realistic look and less fantastical. Like we went from Mad Max, which is like souped up cars and face masks made out of bone, to The Road, which was like so dirty and realistic. Like if you get sick, you die.
Right.
So Viggo Mortensen's character gives his son something sweet in the movie, and the kid has never had it before. What is it? Do you know this one, Tim? Hey, Corissa.
I think I do. Hey, Corissa. How's Corissa doing?
Carissa's doing good. Oh, a Twinkie. Let's see. Let's start seeing the answers.
Oh,
we're all Kickstartering at the moment, right? So
yeah,
Carissa's there too. Let me pull up her Kickstarter. We'll take a look at it. See where you are this morning, my love. Let's see. Pop-Tart. Good guess. Gives him something sweet. Pop-Tart. Carissa's awesome. She's at 74 backers and 2346. We're going to start dropping the links for all this stuff in here. A soda.
The sweet loving of a good woman.
I don't think he would do that to his kid. His kid's like 8. Jelly beans. It's all good guesses.
That might have been jelly beans. I remember the scene, but I don't remember what it was.
Oh, really? Werther's original. I mean, he's not his grandpa. Heroin is off the... No more heroin in the apocalypse. You calling him old Lou? I mean, we all feel like we're ancient when we're in the apocalypse, I'm sure. We're just all so tired. It was, let's see here. We're going to give it to Pops, who said soda. It was a can of Coca-Cola.
Oh. Pops is sweeping it with the apocalyptic questions. Congrats, Pops. Good.
All right. Last question. Last chance. What's this say here? Oh, yeah. See, Coke. I think I saw Viggo just got a star. Oh, did he?
He's
That's
great.
Way overdue.
He's great, obviously, in The Road. But man, to me, he's always Aragorn.
He's Aragorn, and like, I'm sorry, I saw that weird ass movie with him that he was an undercover FBI agent working for the Russian mob. He does a fight scene completely nude. How terrifying is that?
That's right. Yeah. You and I talked about this.
No, he doesn't. And I watched it and I was like, this is messed up.
He's also pretty good in A History of Violence. Where that's
another great movie. Viggo was awesome. That's why I was like, he's just now getting a star on the Walk of Fame. Like that's way overdue. All right, guys. Last question. Logan's Run, 1976. In this movie, you only got to a certain age, and then they had a ceremony and floated you into this chamber and blew you up, which is hilarious. Yes, he did run. That is the main part of the story. But what is the maximum age that you were allowed to be in Logan's Run? They had these little stars in their hands. It was like a gem, and it would turn different colors based on your age. What was the final age where you went into the chamber and got blasted into the... All right, we got 30. We got 33. Anybody else want to take a guess?
I'm not saying. I think you got a right answer in there.
Lou says 30. I'm writing it down.
42.
42 is the meaning of life.
Yep. The meaning of Logan's Run.
Dang. Like, yeah, and in fact,
it is.
I put it in Path of the Pale Rider a lot. Like, there's things that Jude is like 42.
Ours is our Easter egg is 19. If you notice, the word 19 is always in Water Wars.
Is it? Mm-hmm. All right. Thanks for all the fish.
Thanks for all the fish.
That's such a weird part. You're like, the dolphins are leaving? All right. Let's see. 6 if you're born on a leap year. Now we're getting technical. What are you doing, Sir Chad? All right. So guess what? Congratulations, Pops Van Zant. You got the most right with 2. Oh, the answer is 30. I guess I should say that. So Glenn and Lou, you were both correct with 1 point each, but Pops had 2. So Pops Van Zant, congratulations. You get the digital release of Water Wars 2288. Congratulations. That's super exciting. It is never lupus.
Who's your runner-up, Laurie?
Well, everybody else tied with 1. We have Hugo, Lou, and Glenn that all tied with 1 point.
Well,
should we do a tiebreaker for those 3?
I was going to say I'll shoot one to each of them too, or because I was going to do 5. If you want to ask one more question.
Oh, do you have one that you want to ask?
I do.
Go for it.
Let's bump over to some television. The TV show The Walking Dead. Most people are Walking Dead.
Yes.
One of the great apocalyptic shows. What was the cause of the zombie apocalypse?
I know. Yeah, no, Pops, you can't win again. So,
Pops, I'll send you a free map too.
Allen's? I don't think it was Allen's.
Allen's.
Bad writing, that would also be the original poster's mom. Marmaduke. That's also perfect. Thank you, Marmaduke.
Marmaduke bite.
Wait, that's Reddit. Map. Pops loves maps. You want a map? The CDC caused it.
That's actually a pretty good answer.
Yeah.
I don't see any right ones though.
I know. I was like, this is probably the closest. Fire. I mean, the world kind of did burn down, but what caused the virus? He did mean aliens. Yes, I know.
Negan.
He caused a lot of trouble, but I don't know about caused the virus. All right, Tim, let him have it.
Yeah, it's never disclosed in the script what caused the zombie apocalypse. It's never alluded to. They don't mention it once.
But Kirkman said it was aliens.
That was in the rejected script for Image. That isn't his interview though, but it doesn't mention it in the show at all.
Yeah, that's true. The show never does mention it, but Kirkman does say that.
Did you read the interview where he mentions the aliens?
Yeah. I think
so. We'll give it to Chad then, because if he really did read the interview, although the answer is it doesn't say. It's one of the more famous examples. It's not even, they don't even hint toward it in the show.
Can we blame Coral? You have to say it like that. Coral.
So Laurie, are you ready?
What happened? Your audio just fritzed out. Say it again.
Are you writing down the winners?
Yeah. So we have 5.
Okay. So we'll make sure we get either their email, or I could also do it through Messenger.
Yes. If you guys want to send me your info, I will send it all to Tim. I think everybody, so we have Pops, Hugo, Lou, Glenn, and Chad. Make sure you send me your emails and I will put them all together and send them to Tim.
Thank you, guys. I really want to say thank you
That
to you
was
also.
fun.
Yeah, because you're also officially now in my beta group. So if something is messed up, you will be the first ones to see this. And it also does come with the map. Like I was saying, there's a new map that it comes with, so you'll be able to check out the locations.
Cool. I like maps.
Yeah.
I put one in my bonus material too, because I think
Now,
cool.
while everybody's gathered together, I told you there was basically 2 announcements. Number one is this digital release that's right around the corner. The second thing is, I did this interview with John Westhoff and Matt Knowles. Do you know those 2 characters?
I know both of them, yeah.
Well, the topic was the top 11 bass heroes. Right? Do you like Guitar Heroes?
I like Guitar Heroes.
Most people like Guitar Heroes. And in this case, we thought, well, it would be cool if there was a special broadcast that was all about the greatest bass players of rock and
Oh,
heavy metal.
yes. Thank
Right.
you.
So, and that is going to come out. Well, as a matter of fact, I'm rendering it today.
Mhm.
So if I am right now at something like 290 couple subscribers on YouTube, I'm trying to begin my march to 300 subscribers. Again, I'm kind of surprised that this is happening.
I
But
know.
yeah,
That's awesome, though.
well, thank you.
Congratulations.
Really, well, thank you. You're very sweet, and you've always been very helpful to me, Laurie. And you know that I have a
tried.
soft spot for you. And yeah, the truth is, when I heard your show was this morning, I jumped at the chance. You probably saw me. I was like, yes, because
I always crack up because we're in this chat group together, and whenever I have like an opening, I'm just like, anybody want to come on the show? And it's usually like 3 seconds. I'm in. And I'm like,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah. Well, and you have a better show than some.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's you have a little bit of structure, you have a little bit of interviewing, and you have a little bit of an activity, and that's
Right.
again, not for nothing. People are going to take home today is that Tim's busting on everybody, but a lot of podcasts are frankly not very well constructed, and you and I have talked about this. We're not 100% sure that it's given us a boost. So
Right.
when I get to things like this, I just actively reach out. This is a good one. Being on Laurie's show is great. So I'm just going to ask you guys, come over to my YouTube channel and subscribe.
Yeah.
Here, I'll drop. Also, my handle, YouTube has what they call a handle these days. My handle is at Timothy Fling.
There we go. I dropped it right in there.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Really appreciate that.
I
And
have
if
a
you could-
YouTube channel too, if nobody's watching it. It's
Well,
at Laurie Calcaterra 360.
Laurie, when I watch you, I watch it on the YouTube, not on the.
Yeah. I don't usually push my YouTube channel.
Yeah.
I do so many other things, but it's there.
Yeah.
Tim's like, ha ha ha. Commenting from the YouTube.
Hey, and Glenn, you have very good manners. You're welcome very much. And I appreciate you saying thank you. That's very, very kind of you. I'm actually should be saying thanks to you guys because I did want an opportunity to. I like to get things into people's hands sort of before the big mass mailer. You know what I mean? And get a little. This will be the first feedback. Some of these stories have been seen before, but you're going to see stuff that's never. Some of the stuff's brand new. You'll dig it, I think.
Here's Tim's YouTube, so you can.
So we're going to be talking Friday night to Matt Knowles and John Westhoff. As a matter of fact, we already recorded it. Laurie knows how this works. Yeah, we do the episode ahead of time, and then I add a little. Like this one, I added pictures of the bass players and this kinds of things, you know.
Bass players are always like the unsung heroes,
right? That's what we talk about.
Important to the to the song, and I said story, but really they're the foundation. It's like the drummer and the bassist, but the drummer is like can show off because it's big arm movements and they got a big old drum kit and like they have drum solos. There's no bass solos, but it sets the tone of the song with the bass line. I know this because I play the cello and I dabble at the electric bass. So unsung heroes of music. Thank you, bassists.
Yeah, I think it'll be a fun idea. And first of all, thanks for saying that about bassists. I do feel like bassists get skipped over quite a bit. And we tried to focus on, I guess you'd say they're not necessarily too metal, you know, because we're Matt in particular, we're all metalheads. But like I didn't go with like Cannibal Corpse and Sepultura. We tried to lean, so it's more like I'd call hard rock, right? And it's more like the Kings. Like we went back pretty far. We went back and got a couple from the 60s. And we also got some that were like maybe not the best players, but were kind of crazy, right? Like we had to put Gene Simmons on there because he's spitting blood, breathing fire, right?
I was gonna say I mean bass players are unsung. McCartney, Wilson, McVie. I mean, like, yeah, we get that, but usually when you're talking about a band, people are more they recognize the lead singer or they recognize the guitarist, right? I mean, like I've been following Pearl Jam for forever, and I don't remember the name of their bassist. Isn't that
How
terrible?
about Hugo? Yes, the Ox is. Is the Ox? I'm gonna get the nickname. Is he John Entwistle?
Geddy Lee.
Yeah.
See, the ones that I know.
On the list. Hey, listen, Hugo. I actually said in the video, I said if you make a list of bass players, and I said if I don't put Geddy Lee on here, people will attack. So you know Geddy Lee's on there. Yeah. And, since you mentioned Hugo's got good taste, I
Ha.
put Entwistle on there.
He
For the
does
people
have
that
good taste.
don't know, he is the bass player of the Who, and he's actually one of ours going back the longest. But he was Hugo. Did you remember he was also his nickname was Thunderfingers, and that was the example we used on the video.
That's funny.
But they did like My Generation, and yeah, I think that if you have a chance to check out some of these bass players that are on our video, there's none that disappoint. They're all super cool. We got Flea on there.
I was
he
gonna
used
say
to.
you have Flea, and then you have what's his face? From Primus.
Yeah, Primus is on there. Yeah,
Right, of course.
that was John's pick. I don't necessarily love Primus that much.
But he's so different.
It's just so weird, right? Yeah,
He plays the bass like it's I can't even explain it. Like no one plays the bass like that. Nobody.
yeah,
So,
and I
Lemmy?
guess if you think about it, hey, Lemmy, that's a pretty good pick too. Yeah, some of these I didn't do, and I kind of wish. It's like anything else. You make a video, right, and then you think of better ideas, like a week later or whatever. Like, oh, I can't believe I forgot.
that we start talking about it and you're like, oh man, we missed so and so. Like
Oh, nice, Lori. I'm picking up subscribers. Thank you.
yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, your people
Yeah,
are
my
listening.
my
Good for
crew
you.
is so great.
There's a look. If you wanted to see it, that's the page. And
Haas Warman is
I
an
mentioned
engineer.
that because is that level 42?
Yeah, that's what he said.
Hey, listen, that is a great pick. I'm familiar with the guy from level 42. That's Glenn. But listen, Glenn, he wouldn't have made our list because it was more. We always have the rules at the beginnings to keep the list down, and in his case, it's not hard rock enough. Level 42. And some of his best pieces were very melodic, but a little bit too mellow. Like I'll have to make another list of the kind of pop rock and we had to do it that way because pretty soon you got 50 names.
Oh yeah, yeah. 100%.
I freaking love Black Label
Black
Society.
Label
I can tell you
Society,
that,
a
yeah.
fretless bass. That's
Okay,
what
who's
I have.
JD? I don't know who that is, but I do like Black Label Society. That's Zach Wild's band, right?
From out. What's it say? Better than most people play one with frets. LL. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I have a fretless bass. It starts with a W. I haven't picked it up in a while. I don't have time. But you also end up with better known names rather than the breadth of talent and styles.
Yeah,
That's hard.
and Hugo has a good point, and it's this: when you're making content for a YouTube channel, and first of all, keep in mind, I don't always know the answer. Okay, but you want to have your lists and things to be sort of, I don't want to say mainstream, but I guess maybe that's the best way to put it. But enough to maybe appeal to the broader audience. Like for me, for example, I would have had some really more obscure choices. I might have picked well, it doesn't even matter. The point is to stay on the big names because that's what people will dial into. And as you can see in the comments, people right away were like Geddy Lee. Like I'll mention, any of you guys know Billy Sheehan? He was on our list. The guy that was in the David Lee Roth band, and he was in a band called Mr. Big.
Hugo, come on. Yeah.
Well, and Glenn has a good example, right? Because we started to go through the list of some of the funk players, like exactly. In our case, it was Motown's good stuff. And we were looking at, do you know who Bootsy Collins is? He's a guy who he played the bass that was a star, and he like wore all this fur, and his glasses were big stars, and he was like the coolest bass player ever. But we had to keep, we had like 30 names, right?
Yeah, and it's like
he didn't really quite fit in with hard rock, and it's just the way it paired out. And we wanted to have stuff like, we got the guy from Manowar. His name's Joey DeMaio, and he's the guy, he's got his shirt off, and he's all oiled, and he wears a Tarzan loincloth.
Path.
And we wanted some that had a little...
What? Had a little what?
I don't want to say silliness, because that's not what I mean.
Showmanship? Is that what
thank you, like, Laurie, for bailing me out. I backed myself into a corner, and Laurie said,
I was like, a little what? Tim.
Well, and in my case, I didn't, I wanted to have a list that was fun and that people could debate, but pretty soon you almost have enough material for 2 lists. I'll give a quick example. Laurie and I were doing, when we did apocalyptic films, we could have done 50.
Yeah, well, we were doing just apocalypse. Like I think we touched on zombie, but we could have done like a whole nother list on just like apocalyptic zombie movies. We still haven't done that.
I know.
So
I
many
was
good
going to pitch
ones.
to you either one of two things, because again, we got to pare it down. What do you think of these two? Either top zombie movies, which is a little overplayed, or
Yeah.
top apocalypse movies that are not zombies. Like go the other way. You know what I mean?
But that's kind of what we did. Yeah.
Oh, you're right. Or no, didn't we have like Dawn of the Dead and stuff?
I think we had a zombie movie in there, but most of them were like Soylent Green and A Boy and His Dog
Oh,
and
you're right.
Book
You're
of
right.
Eli.
Okay. Okay, you're
Yeah,
right.
we went the other way. We did non-zombie for
Well,
the
maybe
most
this
part.
one will
I
do
think we did.
zombies.
Oh, we could do something else too. I don't know.
Yeah, change it up. Something weird.
Yeah.
But you're due. And boy, you had a good episode where Laurie did the first spotlight on Creative Cranium.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was very good. You're a good interview. You're an interesting person.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I just enjoy it. I love nerding out and like just have a good conversation on the show. That's what it's about. You know what I mean?
Well, and you know, it's I like to say that one of the elements of success, they say, we were just reading this book, my son and I, he's all inspired. And they say that 70% of success is being a likable person. Like, in other words, yeah, you can have all the great skills and the college degree and, you know, wealthy parents and I guess whatever else you need for success. But if you come out and you start acting like an ass to everyone and you're not likable, you're not going to be, you know, karma itself will hold you back.
Yeah.
Kind of. So one of the things that I've been trying to do is to, when we have these spotlights and to a lesser extent the panel shows, is to find out about the person. You know,
Yeah.
like you notice I try to ask questions like, well, why'd you do it like that? And why? Well, how did you know? You know, like it's more about what they thought. Like it's not, the shows aren't really about me, you know, like I guess today is, and I'm very grateful about that. But when I do the other show, I try not to, you know, the deal. I don't mention my stuff at all because it's all about
Yeah.
learning and growing and trying to find that next rung.
Well, and I think that being a podcaster gives us that opportunity to talk to so many people and learn from them. And I know you and I have both said this, like we usually ask the questions that we want to know.
Right. Yeah, I totally do. Yeah.
Like, why'd you do this? And how did you do that? And you know what I mean? For my own personal, you know, notebook, but everybody in the chat gets to benefit from it too. When you get these people that are kind of like quote unquote experts in a certain area, like Zing and Davey Lee and like people that just like are really good at specific things that I don't see every day, where I'm like, I have
Right.
questions. I want to
Yeah.
know, you know, how you managed to do this and be successful at it. Because I think that that's key as a creator, is to find the people that are doing the things that you want to do and have done it already and been successful, and ask them questions. Because it's like you're in a room of a bunch of people that are at your same level and you're asking each other, but no one's ever
It's hard to
accomplished
grow.
it.
It's hard to grow.
It's hard, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got to find out what it takes to do the things to take you to that level, and then you have to emulate it. So
What do you
what
think
did
of
Glenn
this,
say?
Laurie?
Apocalypse without zombies. 2001: A Space Odyssey. At the end of the book, the Star Child destroys the Earth.
I
Yeah,
love that movie too, by the way.
that's
So
a weird one, isn't it? The first time you see it, you're like, "What is going on?"
yeah.
But it's so good.
I want to ask you a question.
Sure.
This came up the other day about how, you know, lots of people have written books and things like how to succeed on Kickstarter and how to get your novel published. And they're self-help books is what they are. And I love self-help books, by the way. If you guys don't know that are watching this, I read self-help books. I consume them voraciously. And then I try to, I mimic the steps that are in the books. I think I mentioned last week I read Arnold Schwarzenegger's Be Useful.
Ooh.
And it was extremely motivational. After reading it, I volunteered to, I'm a Special Olympics volunteer now, if you'd like to know about that.
That's awesome.
Right. It was like a journey about how to be a better person. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next one after this is called Atomic Habits. And it's how you develop habits that will, in theory, that will help you to be more effective at what you're doing. Right.
Okay.
So I said, well, you know what? That gives me an idea. Here I've been doing this podcast, and we just did the 54th episode.
Oh, wow.
Right. It's over a year now.
That's crazy.
Yeah. It's almost a year and a half. And And by the way, each for the folks that don't know, each one has like a question, kind of, or like things like how to get your book into the previews catalog, or what are some do's and don'ts of conventions, and what is
Creative Cranium is by far one of the most informational podcasts you can watch.
Yeah, at least we try. Like all podcasts, we get off
You
track.
succeed. I don't know how many times I've tuned in because it's something I'm really interested in, and the panel is usually people that are so successful at that. So same thing. Well, I can sit there and just absorb all this information.
Well, I try to, when I know who's coming on, I try to
Mhm.
theme it around something that they might know about, right?
Yeah, of
And
course.
yeah, and in this case, so I got 54 episodes worth, or well, it's more than that because there's spotlights and special updates, and there's special other things that go in with that. But I said, I should take all their answers and jot them all down into a book, right? And have it be like a little humorous. Like for example, like the one of the things about the Arnold Schwarzenegger book is he kind of like jacks you up. He's like, look, no one is coming to save you. You must do this yourself. Go do it right now. And that's the end of the chapter. And I'm telling you, Laurie, you put the book down and I
You're like,
went,
I'm gonna go run 12 miles.
get to the chopper, right? Hey, thank you, Lou, for subscribing.
Thanks, Lou.
And Hugo's right about Atomic Habits. It's a way to
check
be
that one
effective.
out.
So the concept is, Laurie, mine will have some humor in organizing these topics. And it's things like, grab your project by the throat and force it to succeed, like that. Right. Yeah, right. And then it's like a little chapter, and it for the people that would like to be involved, like, hey, according to Laurie Calcaterra, like it'll be a little, like almost like a little spotlight there, and like some of your
Cool.
tips. And then of course I'd have to ask everybody. My guess is most people probably want to contribute their knowledge.
Yeah.
And then, or if there's money in it, then that might make it different because so far I haven't really made money on anything. But the idea would be
you and the rest of Indy.
Yeah, I'd organize it together into a book, and it would have like some simple graphics, and it would be a little humorous. Like it'd be real tips, but it would be presented in sort of like this self-deprecating, humble kind of way. And then what I would do with this, I would release it on Kickstarter. And it would be, you got some crazy people out there.
I do. I love them all. They're so funny.
And you're ready for this? This would be a digital thing, the Creative Cranium Operator's Manual. And you go right, well, how do I get my book into the previews catalog? Go right to it. Well, how do I advertise on YouTube? You go right to it. And then you think, well, I don't know, is it expensive? You ready for this? It's 49 cents.
I'm sorry, how? Are you doing it digital?
Mm-hmm. You can download it.
That's
and it'd almost be like an app, like you click the index and it would go to your topic. And my guess is it would be probably 50 chapters, something like that. Short, real short ones, each one short.
Yeah.
And Hugo, this part is, the Creative Cranium is on YouTube. The best way to watch it, in my opinion, is to watch it on YouTube. But that'd be the idea. And I don't even know if you can do 49 cents for an app. I think you got to do 99 cents these days.
But you could even just have it like as a digital download
PDF,
on your website or something like that. I have those available. So it's like you can just be like, hey, if you want this information, 49 cents, you can download it, have it at your fingertips immediately on any tablet, phone.
And
computer,
it should be
whatever.
like version 1.0 because it should be updatable as we learn more stuff and that kind of
Yes.
thing. After 2 years of Creative Cranium, there'll be 2 years. So I actually, I'm not always a very smart person, I'll be honest with you, but I am somewhat resourceful. And I realize now that I have a bunch of resources here. Like if I was to make a book out of this, there's enough material. The problem is the market segment is very slender. It's really essentially aimed at other comic creators, and there's not 300 million. And I don't know if they would necessarily purchase it. So
purchase a physical copy, but purchase a digital, yeah.
Yeah, I think the 49 cents is a
no-brainer.
Yeah,
that's a
I might go to
no-brainer.
99. It almost seems too cheap, right?
Yeah, I would be like 99 cents. Let's let's be real with inflation. 99 cents.
But I have I've got some logos and a book mock-up being drawn up right now. It'll be ready tomorrow.
Ooh.
Yeah, well, that's my next plan. Is that I don't know what the secret is to. You might know this better than me.
What?
To increase the productivity to be able to do multiple Kickstarters in a year. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
I do better. I do better, having less Kickstarters and having them more like events each time with big things around them. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
what I'm leaning toward is less events and more marketing.
Yeah, and I just, there's got to be some balance, because Corissa and I talk about this all the time, where it's like, how often can you run a Kickstarter and still be profitable? Because the worry is that if you're going too soon, that people might get fatigue, where it's like, I already
Exactly.
got that. Or,
Correct.
I know it's a new issue, but I'm not going to spend $200 and I'm not going to, you know what I mean? Where
It
it's
can
like,
work against itself. For people like us, if you're
yeah,
releasing issues, people wait for trades then, especially when they see you
yep.
put out one trade, which I did.
Or they don't, in my case, where they're like, we already got all your issues. Shut up. Like, bonus material, buddy? Whatever. No, I'll just be quiet.
Oh no, I
Let's
was
see,
reading the
what's the
comments. Yeah, I was
Oh,
reading
it
Glenn's
should
comment.
make an app for hand lettering, coloring, and perspective. Or maybe people should just pay me to do it. Glenn, you are such a a unique person in this world, where you still do everything the traditional way. And I think it's kind of going to be a lost art pretty soon, considering digital art and AI. So I'm a little scared. You should do some teaching for sure. It's like going to be one of those lost arts pretty soon, in my opinion, which is sad. I don't think we should ever lose touch with how to do traditional art. Oh, Brad too. Brad, there's a fine line and it takes planning.
Hey Brad, how you doing?
Yeah, hi Brad.
I know
People
Brad.
have never heard of or seen promoting a single campaign are not going to help your campaign get funded. If you're going to pay someone who is actually putting in the work. Yeah. It's hard. It's hard. It's like you need to be on social media. You need to do some kind of marketing outside of social media. There's press kits, there's magazines, you know what I mean? You need to be on podcasts, you need to be available, you need to be posting updates. And then of course thinking outside the box whenever you can. It's like just doing all of that
Exactly.
sounds
Laurie.
exhausting, but then you add in either a full-time job or kids or family. And I don't know how any of us get anything done, to be honest.
I got 2 kids. Laurie, you got 2, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's it's a juggling act is what it is, and I think Laurie explained it exactly correctly. Well done. And there's also one more element is that once you do all that, you've got to comb back through and figure out which things worked and didn't. Because I'm not Laurie, you know me, I never claim to be the expert on stuff, and I always ask the
Me
questions.
neither.
But I am experienced enough to realize as I go through, oh, a couple of things didn't work on this one, and you know what I mean. Like I'll give a quick for instance. You have to market every aspect of your promotion, and here's what I mean by that. In the past, I used to always do the get yourself drawn in, right?
Yep.
And I would do like a little poster and show everybody, and there'd be. And we used to sell a bunch of them, 4 or 5, right? And then this time I was like, well, everybody already knows about that. It was one of the tiers, but I didn't market it at all. No buyers. And I was like, you got to be kidding me. Like, it was one of the things we were known for. How did I not get one? And I guess that's because don't take it for granted that people know.
Yeah. That just happened recently on my campaign. I had to go remind everybody. I was like, our Choose Your Own Adventure book is still available in the add-ons. Oh, we got one. You know what I mean? So if you don't say, people don't know. And it's hard. I know we've talked about the algorithm before too on social media, where it's like you're posting stuff today and some people are seeing it today, but most of the time they're seeing it like days or weeks after you post it. It finally comes through on their social media. So it's like you have to consistently post. And if you think you're posting too much, you're probably posting the right amount. Hi, John Westhoff. We were talking about
John?
you. Were your ears burning?
John, you're going to be on video this week talking about bass players.
And then John's going to be on this show in 2 weeks. So
nice.
I think Corissa Grant, a reigning champion of Tuesday Morning Brew, will be on next week. Newcomers definitely don't know. Exactly. So it's like you have to tell everybody. And it feels like you're saying it again. And that I don't know about you, Tim, but I always feel like I'm saying things and it's repetitive. And I always feel like I should apologize. Like when you're going back and you're messaging previous backers, I'm like, so sorry guys if you're getting this 4 times, but
I don't get the impression that you do that. I'm one of your followers and I wouldn't say you oversaturate it.
I always feel like I am. I'm like, I'm so sorry. I'm telling you this 4 times, but just want to make sure I'm catching everybody. Like I'll be doing that today because I'll be sending out a blast about those returning backer stickers.
Yeah.
And so
I always, John has a great point
campaign.
there in the sense
What's that?
so many of us say things like, oh, we got this dead part in the middle of the campaign and this and that. And it means you're doing something wrong with your advertising. You got to change something up. There shouldn't be a dead spot.
That's the hard part.
Yeah.
But what? Because I feel like I'm doing all the things and I got so dead right in the middle. I've been stuck at the same, like pretty close to the same dollar amount. We've been inching forward, but like for a whole 7 days, we haven't moved really forward. We've got, but again, we netted. We're getting backers, and then people are canceling. So it's like
right. I was getting ready to say,
back.
The worst is when you're taking the cancels.
Yeah. So it's like, even though we're inching forward, it's like we're still getting backers, but then people are dropping in this middle section. So, and again, it's normal, but it's like, how do you combat that? That's what I want to know. And I've been trying different things, and you can try different things, but if someone can figure that out, please let me know. Yeah. Come on the show. I'll let you talk about it for 2 hours.
Again, I got to say, Laurie's show is the best. I'm at 295 subscribers. Thank you, Laurie.
Hey, 5 more. We get Tim to.
Yeah, she's hooking me up with some subscribers. And again, as I was saying, if you want to see John Westhoff ranting endlessly about the guy from Primus, then do not miss this special broadcast.
I think I want to see John rant about
it actually came out pretty good.
What's his name? Jerry.
Oh, he is Les Claypool.
Les Claypool. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes, and my brother plays the bass and has mimicked a lot of Primus's bass playing just so he can learn that style. But
okay, you ready for this?
We'll make Tim sing.
5 more subs. I'll make this deal with you. I'm at 295 right now. This thing airs. It'll air Friday night, right before Creative Cranium Live.
Yeah.
If we get 5 more subs, I'll put the bass solo on it myself, and I'll play it, and I'll put myself on camera playing it.
Yeah.
You guys know I can play. You're gonna go, oh, Tim can play, and I'm gonna go, yeah, I told you.
Tim can play. And yes, we want to make sure we thank the Madness for helping all channels grow and supporting all of indie. Anytime
thank you,
come
Madness.
on our shows, that's why we're here. We want to help you grow. So thank you, Madness, for giving us all a place where we can talk comics and nerd out. Primus
sucks.
There's gonna be some fighting. There's gonna be some
we were joking. I'm kidding around with you. That's one of like the slogans that Primus fans say. Did you know that?
They hate Primus?
Yeah,
Primus
yeah, it's part of their thing. Like if you see a picture of Les Claypool playing bass online, you're not supposed to, but many people will jump into the comments and say Primus sucks. It's like they're, you know how some people say hail or whatever. That's the Primus thing. Primus sucks. Back me up here, John.
Primus dude plays bass like he has arthritis.
Yeah, it's controversial, but I'm not a Primus fan. I think that guy's very repetitive. Also, Flea is the same way. They play the same riff each time. But hey, I get it. There's more to it. There's more to it than that. You know?
I think Flea is just so controversial. Like he and his antics on the stage, I think is what made him famous. And then of course he got into acting. So
wait, say that again. Say that again.
Flea got into acting, and then of course, like showing up naked on stage with a sock. And it's like,
sure,
what are you doing? And that's kind of what got him into the limelight was his persona. And then of course, when he went into acting, he was in what was he in? He was in
Back to the Future.
Back to the Future Part 2.
Yeah,
he was the idiot that was driving the car.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, and I've always hated that.
Need to do better. I feel not the hosts even here know me. Well, we would like to know you, Jens. We would definitely like to know. I've seen you pop up a couple times now.
Doc chiming in for Billy Sheehan. Billy Sheehan was on our list. That is a great example of the type of bassist that you're going to see on our list. And we also tried to put interesting things. Billy Sheehan, a level 4 Scientologist. He worships a volcano god.
No comment.
Hey, I'm all for freedom of religion. You know, look, I got nothing against.
I was like, shh, we're not going to talk about Scientology on my show. They're going to come for They're everywhere. What's this?
What's up, Comic Crusaders?
Bunny comic. The comic. We could take a look at that. What's up, Doc? What's up, Doc? Do you have a website, Tim?
Mm-hmm. You want to link up?
Yeah.
Yeah, heck yeah.
You can put it on the screen. Let's go take a look
Let's
at
go. Oh yeah. Of course.
Let's talk about website tactics.
Yeah, I got a pretty good web designer.
Mm-hmm. Ooh.
So I'll show you what we got here. This is your Earth Dog Studios webpage. This gives you a little all my points of contact there, except for I really don't use Twitter or X anymore, if anybody even still does. And you can have all the titles.
There's people there. I don't know what they talk about.
Scroll through all your titles. See?
Ooh.
I got there's your best sellers.
That's cool.
Yeah, and then this one, something cool on this site, we have now done this RSS feed. Let me see if I can find out how you do it. There's our mission statement. News, there it is. So in my case, all your prior video episodes are
cool
rotated through there. That's what they call an RSS feed.
Okay.
Yeah.
I need to do
Now,
that.
hold on a second. I want to talk to Doc. He says mentions Rudy Sarzo. Now, this is a good example of first, Doc, let's hear why you would love to see Rudy Sarzo.
Yes.
Because I get it why you would have said Randy Rhoads right there, but I would have felt that Rudy Sarzo never matched up to the playing level of his bandmate, Randy Rhoads. So I'd like to hear your 2 cents worth.
And we actually have, you know what's funny? This is funny because Pops was like, hold it, we'll see who's watching. Actually, we have 7 people watching from Twitter.
Oh, nice.
We have 8 people watching on YouTube and 1 person in Twitch. Believe that? Nobody's on the Facebook. Did Facebook crash again? I'm just curious.
If it did, I didn't know.
Yeah, Doc, tell us more. You know, there's a bassist named Eddie Safran, and he was big, I think, in Detroit. I think he was in the jazz scene. Let me look him up. And this is a crazy story. Eddie Safran. Let me see. I was in college, and I forget what Eddie Safransky discovered. There we go. Get out of here, cookies. I don't care. Eddie Safransky, American jazz bassist, born December 25th, 1918 in Pittsburgh, died. Oh, I was off. So he's from Pittsburgh. Is actually, I'm related to him. And I didn't know this. I was in college and my maiden name is Shafransky. Here, let me show you guys this page. Ooh, what's that? Hold on. We'll go back. We'll trade. Look, this guy, Eddie Safransky. Oh. My maiden name is very similar to this. Oh. And when I was in college, one of my professors was like, "Your last name looks familiar. Do you know Eddie Safransky? He was a bassist and blah blah blah. He was pretty famous." And I was like, "Never heard of him." Turns out he's like a distantly related cousin. He's like my dad's second cousin, and I had no idea. So I took a college professor to tell me that I was related to a bass. I was like, see, music runs in the family. What's this, Tim? Go ahead. Rockstar designer.
Yeah, I was going to tell you guys this is now available on our website. There's a couple things that are new, and this is, I guess I better rewind to start at the beginning of this one. About 2.5 years ago, I was approached by, I got a little bit of a local celebrity here from Pennsylvania. His name's Star. He is a magician and stage designer for lots of big acts in Hollywood and Vegas. And he's designed stages for famous magicians like David Blaine, and he does stage drops for Alabama and Tom Petty and all these great big rock bands. And one of the things he does, he tours around the country and he gives motivational speeches to kids and whatnot. Things like, you can achieve your dreams, this kind of thing. And he comes to me and he says, "Hey, man, I saw you've been making your own comics. They look great. I want to have my life story made into a comic book and I'm going to use it for my business." "Okay, man, great." Hey, Carrie. So anyway, I sit down for a couple meetings with this guy, and I help him plot out his biography and how to put it into panels and that kind of thing. We talk about
Yeah.
page weights and how to print and variant covers and this and that. And I'm just helping out, right? He's going to make the book, of course, himself. And well, maybe 6 months goes by. This is all during COVID, so there was some ups and downs during it. But anyway, the book comes out. I'm credited as the writer of it. It's an international release. There's like a Ukrainian version, a Czechoslovakian version, because he's like kind of a celebrity, right? Yeah. And even better, I'm the exclusive publisher of it.
That's amazing.
Can you believe that?
Surprise!
Yeah, so it just goes to show you, when people ask you to help out, just go help them. And then we did a signing. This was last year at Baltimore. It was in October. And he says, hey, well, I'll come down and we'll do this signing. And this is the kind of guy, by the way, I love Star, and I know him. We've been friends for many years. When I was a musician, he used to design our logos and this kind of thing.
Cool.
Well, we go to Baltimore, and he walks in, and he always has beautiful models with him and this and that, and sunglasses and the big hair. And there's video cameras on him. And even when he just walked in, he looks, of course, like Bon Jovi or something, coming up to the table. And there's a big, long line. And what was even better is we had a bunch of the people that worked on the book were there. I mean, it was me, Star, and Justin Birch. All three of us worked on the book, and we had a line, 10 people come to get their copy of Rockstar Designer, an inspirational rockumentary that teaches kids how to go for their dreams.
That's super cool.
Yeah. And here, can you believe it turned out I'm the writer of the darn thing?
Yeah. You're like, I had no clue.
Yeah, I honestly, Laurie, I was just trying to be helpful,
Right?
It's like the Arnold Schwarzenegger thing, be useful. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I thought I was just, because like I say, it is his autobiography. It isn't like
I mean, how could you can't really write an
well, I just sat down with him and we wrote through it into chapters, and here's how you would break it up. It wasn't like this. I mean, it's a true story. Everything is true.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he had a lot of cool stuff in his life too.
Oh, I'm sure he's probably one of those like most interesting people. You want to sit down and just buy him a beer and start him talking and just listen.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's what he does now. He goes around does motivational speaking.
That's cool.
Isn't that wild?
See, I hope to be that.
So someday. I thought you might like to see that.
Harry, I did see the video. I shook my head. I laughed. And then I was thankful that I have such crazy friends. Because I was like, I don't know what's going on, but this is funny. Oh, let's see. Working on my World War II story. I did some coloring today. Cool.
Nice.
Glenn has a story about his father's experience in World War II, which is really, really cool.
That sounds interesting.
See. Is he the type of person whose hair is always flowing despite the lack of breeze?
Very much so. And he's even like, and this is the kind of thing that's lost on me, but he's like an actual celebrity. You know what I mean? Like whenever he goes somewhere, he gets comped a room, and restaurants give him the meals and and not like, again, I'm not putting anybody down. He's not like an A or B level celebrity, but I guess you'd say whatever, the lower level is. More than me.
Right. More than us. People. We go places we have to pay to get in.
Yeah. But he has like, a publicist and a handler and a photographer and like all kind of stuff going on. He's also one of the world's leading James Bond collectors. Like he has a bunch of stuff like props and autographs and things about James Bond.
That's amazing. Yeah. Glenn, aren't you related to Ian Fleming?
I'm like KFC.
Speaking of 007, just wondering. I think he is. What else was I gonna show here? Love the Rockstar Designer. Yeah.
Thanks. That was there was a couple designers that worked on that. That was Bees Studios actually did that one.
It's the Ziegler quote. You can have everything in life you want if you just help other people get what they want. It's just good karma, right?
Yeah, he's right about that. That's one of the things we talked about, and it's something I've been trying to do to see, to be honest, to see if it'll work for me. You know what I mean? It's like Laurie was saying, we all want to try to help other creators.
Yeah.
But we don't always know what to do. Yeah, how about that? Look, it's getting long.
Are you going to braid it? Put some beads in it?
Yeah, I'm going to it's going to be a lit firecracker in right there. like a pirate captain? My wife said no, but I did already get the firecrackers because when it gets long enough, I'm gonna tie it in there and light it. You know, like a drunk pirate captain with his firecrackers in his beard.
I'll have to invite you to Texas and we can do the slice and dice together.
Oh man,
blow your beard up and I'll blow up pineapples.
I'd love to come to Texas sometime. What's your city?
I'm in Prosper.
Oh, I don't know where that is.
It's I don't know if you're familiar with like Plano or Frisco, McKinney.
Yeah, I know where that is.
Like those are a little bit more known. We're very close to that. We're just it was a little tiny town that if you blink, you'll miss it. It's starting to get on the map. We have some bigger things that are going in, but mostly it's like they're building it in McKinney and we're across the street.
Yeah.
They built the PGA headquarters literally across the street. So there's one street, if you go south of the street, it's McKinney. If you go north of the street, it's Prosper. So yeah.
Yeah.
I have to play it. Hold on. Where'd it go?
Maybe I should dye it so it's not white.
Oh no, where is it? Here we go.
Chicken nuggets.
I think I also need to do some chicken nugget related merch for the fans because they think it's hilarious. Oh, you can also get fairy lights for your beard and baubles.
Yeah, I would rock it. I would. Maybe that's
100% in my 15-year plus journey with Comics Crusaders helping creators, and I've been blessed many times over it or something. Yeah.
Yeah, Comic Crusaders, if you like Zig Ziglar, you would like this book we're talking about making, the Operator's Manual, because that's the whole idea of it, is that it's all stuff that you can use, you know. I've been lucky that other creative... Oh, you're sweet, Carrie. I knew that.
Oh, Doc's just catching up.
Yeah. And by the way, quick comment. Hope he's still listening. Man, I love Doc. We love to debate about the musical things, but I would take the con on this position, Doc. I would say that he was underutilized, and I would say that he also did not keep pace with his bandmates. I would have called him the weak sister of the Blizzard of Oz. Sorry, Rudy. He was a super nice guy and fair enough fella, but you couldn't even put him on the same list with Billy Sheehan. I hope Doc will come talk with me on the air about this.
Dun, dun, dun.
But that's the kind of stuff we talk about, you know what I mean?
Jens is wondering why we don't know more about Jens. Jens, I'm going to send you the link to sign up for the Tuesday Morning Brew. I'll send you the Calendly. You can come on the show, tell us all about, we'll ask you your origin story and all of that good stuff. You can have 2 hours to hang out with myself and the crowd, and we'll get to know more about you because sounds like you would fit in well with us.
Laurie, you definitely have an interesting. You definitely have an interesting group.
I do. It's great though. They're growing. We're getting more and more people as we continue to do shows. What is this episode 112, 13? Which is crazy.
Oh, is that how many you have?
Mm-hmm. But I didn't start it at 1. Remember, like it used to be a panel show. When I first started coming on the Tuesday Morning Brew, and then Pops was like, would you like to host?
Gotcha.
I think it was right around episode 50, somewhere around there that I took over. So I've done like 60 some odd episodes.
Isn't that something? We both got our start from Pops.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He has a nose for talent. I'm just saying. Mm-hmm. 35. I took over at 35. Okay. So I've done quite a few shows. It just goes by so quick though, doesn't it? Like I was not even thinking when it was like my 100th episode. I was like, what am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
Like I didn't think about it and do it, but I was like, 100 episodes. And then we went on with the show.
Well, one of the weird things in our case is it's usually 3 people. It's always at least 2. But it's usually 3, so we're over. It's almost like 150 creators represented.
That's the difference. It's like for every show, I usually just have 1, maybe 2 people, but they're talking about the same project, and you have multiple. So it's like that's a ton of creators that run through your show, and that's amazing.
Yeah, I'm so surprised by it, Laurie.
Jens, thank you. I will fix that.
Got it, Jens. I'm so surprised by it, Laurie. Like I said, it was never my design to do any of those things. And these are all things that have happened accidentally along the way on the journey of trying to be a writer.
Yeah, I agree. It's more like Jens, or you can call me Jen. Jen. I would prefer Jens. Yeah, I like it. But yeah, it's weird how like one thing kind of leads to the other in a journey. And it's like, I'm with you where I never set out to be a podcaster. I never set out to have a YouTube channel. My YouTube channel was just kind of like a holding place for some of my short films and like my martial arts stuff. And now it's like I have way more live streams on my YouTube channel than anything else. It just kind of happened. So I don't know. We'll see. And one of the things I really enjoy about being an indie is making these connections. And then as we all continue to grow, kind of watching everybody develop and grow and seeing what new comes out of it. Like Corissa and the Zombie Bros, where it's like we were all at the same place at the same time and we're all kind of branching out and finding our way. It's so fun to watch someone grow, and continue and be each other's backbone and support system, because this stuff is not easy either. A lot of times, I'll show up in Carissa's messages and be like, lost the backer, man, I'm feeling really bad, and she'll be like, keep your head up, you got this, and you got la la. And so we kind of keep each other's spirits up. That's important to have, because it's not all fun and games. I've never tried to come on any kind of social media and complain about what I do. I'm very blessed to be able to do what I do, and do it full time. I have my family and I have my comic book, and that's what I do with my time. And of course, I get myself into trouble. Like I craft books and I make short films and I do all these other things that eat up my time. But I don't have to work a full-time job and try to do this and take care of my family.
Yeah.
So I'm very lucky. So I never want to complain about it, but you can still feel down about it. Like, man, I really wish it was doing this or that, the other. But when all is said and done,
the creator road is filled with pitfalls too. There's a lot of setbacks and things. And it's the thing I love saying is that the thing that's hardest of all is just not enough time,
Yeah, I really wish there was two of me. If anyone can figure out how to clone myself and not have it be like a copy of a, like the, what was it? Multiplicity. That movie with Michael Keaton, where the last one is like shaving his tongue. He's like, nah. And they're like, that's all right. We took the blade out of it. He's fine. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
If we could have that, that would be great, because I could get so much more done. There's so many things I want to do. Like I've been trying to get this sticker, this returning backer sticker. I've had it since the beginning of the campaign. Haven't had time. If you could do one thing, like clone yourself and have that clone take over one part, what would you have that clone do? I'm just curious.
In my case, I think I would have it do the day-to-day stuff so that I could still do the fun parts. I guess I would say it like this. Like, I want to do the writing and the making and the Kickstartering and the, you can do the laundry and the taking the kids to school and the cooking the breakfasts. And
that's kind of how I would split it up too.
We are, my wife works nights, so our day here is weird. Like well, it kind of works for us. I got a son at school, so I'm the breakfast maker. Although I didn't do it today because our breakfast is usually around 10, something at 10:30. So, but like, so that's my daily thing now. Like part of my routine is like, I'm the breakfast guy. Okay, why not? So I enjoy doing that, but it would be nice to have my clone do that.
Yeah. Can we just a free housekeeper? Cook the meals, go do the grocery shopping, do the laundry, fold the laundry and put it away. That is I hate that. That's the worst. It's like laundry an hour, folding and putting away 3 to 5 business days, right?
Yeah.
Can't stand it.
But I don't think that it's like we say, like, well, if there was an extra version of me, I'd get so much more done.
Yeah.
But then you'd also have that extra set of problems that would come from that other person.
God, I know. What else was I going to ask you? It was something about time. But going forward, so this is your digital release and then the books are ordered.
Correct.
So, okay, answer me this, like what comes next? Because you work on different titles and I haven't done that yet. I just focused on Path of the Pale Rider and I kind of write for other people, but then I don't have to promo that. But you write Call of the Cryptid and then Water Wars, and this is a collection. What's on the calendar that's coming up after Water Wars?
Let's do a little preview of it.
Yeah, let's do it.
So the next thing on our docket.
I'm sorry, Jens.
Because I
Oh,
do
Lord.
have a new cover
Thank
treatment.
you, Al. Appreciate that.
There we go.
I invented the whip-up power in potting.
Yeah, I didn't quite understand that one.
That's his like catchphrase. So anytime you go on Al's show, he's like whip-up. He just gets everybody kind of like excited. So there you go. Oh,
So what you're seeing here is the next book in the Cryptid series. This will be released this year. It's called The Cryptid 2 with our little catchphrase on there: UFOs, cryptids, heavy metal. I abandoned the isn't that cool? Yeah, I abandoned the sentence and I just went with because people kept saying, well, what are the things that are different about it? What's it about? It's UFOs, cryptids, and heavy metal. If you like those three things, you will like Call of the Cryptid. And in this one,
nailed it on the head. Like that's what we all strive to do, is like in as short of amount of time as possible, describe what's cool about your project to get people interested, right?
Yeah. Do you like that, Laurie?
I do. That's very good. That's
I appreciate the feedback. I almost didn't do that, and I'll tell you why.
Really?
And this is the kind of thing you'll get as a writer. I love that for a tagline even, but the reason I almost didn't use it there was the two words cryptid so close of a proximity to each other on the cover. Like I didn't really want to repeat the word, but it kind of goes with it. So it doesn't really seem to conflict, huh?
Yeah. No, I think it works, Tim.
Yeah.
I think it works.
But that is kind of the slogan. As a matter of fact, I've got an alternate if you like to. Do you like to see alternate logos?
Of course.
Yeah.
I like to see all the things.
Yeah, I was saying this earlier. We sometimes do multiple versions till we get the one that we really like.
Really?
So it gives you, in this case, it's a slightly different color treatment and different font. So it would be this guy.
Ah. I need you to like flip back and forth.
Yeah, go back and forth. Yeah, this guy.
It's like going to the eye doctor. Which one's better? Or two?
This one or this one?
Number one?
Or this one?
Or number two? I kind of like number one better.
Yeah, I think I do too. That logo is used on another one. I'll show you the variant while we are at it.
Ha ha ha! All these exclusives on the Tuesday Morning Brew. I love it.
Yeah. Well, you ask, hey, what am I working on? And I don't always a lot of times people don't ask me. So this is the first time.
Yeah, I always want to know what people are doing next, right?
Yeah, you'll like this one. You might have seen it actually. Let's see. This one is like that.
I like that one too.
Yeah, so a little bit of Loch Ness action, and it's cool. You got the UFO in the background.
Again,
cool. That's working with Irwin. He's the best.
He is the best, man. He looks it's almost like
and Comic Crusaders has a great point about the elevator pitch. The Call of the Cryptid book, your elevator pitch is: after an alien encounter, a young girl gains the ability to communicate with a race of legendary monsters. So she's a monster
pitch
talker.
is so important, and the shorter the better. And it's like, I wish I could make mine so concise that it just in like 10 words or less, people get it. You know what I mean? And that's
hard and as writers, we all tend to say things like, well, if I got a lot of words, that's better because I like making them so much. But the average, attention span of a, person is much shorter than our.
Yeah, that's why we have TikToks, right? They're like 30 seconds at times. But that's I think like it's always the what do they call that? The conditional sale, where it's like you start out with the short one, where cowboys, conspiracy theories, and zombies.
Yeah.
And then people are like, that's interesting. And then I do the next one, like, oh, in this world, death has been broken, your body can die, but your soul doesn't leave. wow, that's really interesting. And then that kind of gets my foot in the door to do like the full, the longer pitch, like what would you do, blah, blah, and then I go through the whole thing. So it's almost like start with the short one. If you can grab them with that, do a slightly longer one and then give them more information if they're staying there. But if you're like cowboys and zombies and conspiracies and they're like, what's that? I don't care, and they move on to the next one. Right.
Well, I think you did a good job describing, and that's one of the things that's going to be in this creative cranium thing that we were talking about is the difference between the pitch and the synopsis.
Mm-hmm.
The pitch is you've got 10 seconds as somebody's walking by your booth. It tends to be, 1 second. A synopsis is what you might sort of say to a publisher or somebody that was totally captivated paying attention.
Yes.
Or as I sometimes say, I call it the do you like, hey, do you like cryptids? And just let them start talking. And, we talked earlier about the likability factor. If you think about it, most of the sales from conventions tend to come from interacting with the customer politely, more so than them going, oh my God, I've never seen anything like this. It's the greatest book ever made. It's usually not like that. It's usually much more simple. Oh, Laurie seems really cool. I want to support her project and, support the arts. It's not, oh my God, I can't believe this is a world changing. This is the Star Wars of our generation. You know what I mean?
Now, plus, if you do feel that way about my story, I would hug you and take a picture. Like we could take a selfie together. However,
sure.
Yeah.
And, and I think you kind of see where I'm going with this is that, I could picture you doing very well at that because you're so engaging and, and me probably having a lot of customers and a very likable person as well.
Thank you.
So that's something that I'm trying to work on because, secretly I'm not that likable. I tend to be a little, sometimes
self-deprecating at times. It's like,
my personality can be very abrasive. So, I got to dial it back a couple of notches.
I have never seen that ever. So. Jens
so that's what I'm working on right now. We got Cryptid number 2 is going to come out, and then later this year I will have this, and I'm still learning this, but I'm releasing this first novel this year.
Someone asked me about this. Did you ever take one of your scripts and like convert it into a novel? Is that what you're doing, or?
Well, yes and no. Like sometimes things go through a lot of different versions for me. It started as a short story. And then I was like, oh, this should really be more than that. And I expanded it into like a graphic novel script. But what happened was to tell everything, it kept like sort of ballooning, And then I went, man, this is going to freaking cost me a fortune to have this illustrated.
In art?
Yeah. So I need to do something. And I still think it may be a great illustrated story. But it's going to be a novel with frontispieces on each chapter. Like there'll be 14 illustrations. Like if you remember like the old books like the Hardy Boys, Nancy Drew, you'd go to the chapter and there'd be one illustration that would represent that chapter. And then you'd read the chapter. And then there would be a frontispiece. And it's usually on like a nicer paper, like a glossy paper, So that's what ours will be. Something like that.
I was thinking about doing that with another one of my scripts.
I'd love to talk about it if you want to. Writing novels is new for me, but it's I joined NaNoWriMo. I think, did you and I talk about this? NaNoWriMo is National Novel Writing Month, and it's in November, and you sign up, and it's like a tracking software is what it is, and it helps you. Oh, you need 600 more words today to hit your goal, and I used it, and it was in November. I'm at 55,000 words.
It's my gosh.
Yeah.
I know Carissa's always like, I have this many words in my stuff. And I was like, that's amazing. And then people are like, how many words are in your script? And I was like, I have no idea.
Well, Google, if you use use Google Drive.
No, I'm using a script writing software. It's because I'm writing it in
Final Draft?
Production. Like it's a screenplay format.
Right.
Is what I'm used to writing my scripts in because that's what I was writing in when I started writing. Because it was for, short form web content. So it's just kind of kept that way. And now I've branched out and done like the comic book method, which is like page 1, panel 2, panel 3 with some description, dialogue, whatever. Right. So I can do that as well. But I'm much more comfortable writing in screenplay format just because it's so much quicker for me. So I like that. But I'm interested in writing novels. And I did something different when I did the Choose Your Own Adventure book. Because that's more of a novel, the same kind of thing with pictures, but it's so complicated because you have to map out what page leads to the, you know what I mean, for the story, and then branching the story. So that one was complete. I don't know. That one was hard. But I need to do another one of those too.
Yeah. Well, my hope is
need
by
a clone,
November.
people. We need clones, right?
My hope is by November, so this will be like the novel's actually done.
Really?
Yeah. But like what somebody told me was, well, the first thing is you need to have like an editor, like a real editor.
Like a yeah, that was my concern, is like my editor that does my comic books. I don't know, if she could do the same thing, or do I need to find someone else?
Well, and what they
it's
recommend
completely
is
different.
like a editor / literary agent. It's a real expense. Like a good one's around $5,000.
Yep.
So, for me, it was more just that I hadn't done that. And I'm also, sometimes I said I can be abrasive. I'll just say it. I've worked with editors only a few times, and just about every time I think I was a more qualified editor than they were.
Ouch.
Yeah. So, I apologize about the way that sounds, but I'm not sure spending the $5,000 just for the ability to say, hey, this person edited my book. I'm not sure if I'd get my bang for my buck out of that, unless he was like somebody from Penguin or Doubleday or some big name editor.
Yeah.
And as far as on comics, I edit all my own stuff, and I offer editing services to others. That's got a pretty effective way to do it if they're so inclined.
See,
I'm
I
kind
think
of
we just need to learn how to do it, and you edit my stuff and I'll edit yours.
There you go.
All right.
But mine's got a couple of weird turns in it, though. You ready for this? You have to have a working knowledge of Chengyu. That is a Chinese language 4-line poem. You'd have to know at least a couple of them because it's referenced in the book. Yeah, I know. And you'd have to be able to translate 4-character titles into 3-character titles in Chinese.
I'm out.
There's a couple of weird parts, right? Like, have you
Right.
ever, by any chance, do you watch the TV show Shogun that's on Hulu right
The
now?
new one?
Yeah, or seen the old one?
I have not started it yet, but it does look super interesting to me.
Yeah, that's very much what my novel is like.
Ah.
And a little bit
Cool.
too, like, I don't know if you might have ever seen a movie called Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Of course. Are you kidding me?
Well, it's
like
not
one of
really
my
new anymore, right?
favorites.
That's 2020.
Oh
I'm
my
never
God,
sure.
that was like right when I was like in the height of my martial art journey. Was
Yeah.
then when that came out, and like the scene where the two ladies fight each other in the dojo is like
It's the best ever.
that's
It's the
the
best ever.
scene for me.
If you like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, you will love
Mhm.
my new novel.
Mhm. I'm sold.
Yeah, maybe you can be my editor. I'll definitely include you. For example, like it's got some cool things too. Like one of the things is when the book opens it up, it's going to be an unconventional size. And we like
Oh.
to do wraparound covers, right? This will have
Yeah.
a triple panel, and you unfold it, and it's 3 panels of a cover, right? What you
Yeah.
might call a triple cover.
Right.
And it like winds through all the professions of 33rd century life.
Interesting.
And it shows like the tanner, the fisherman, the farmer, and it like goes through all their, all their professions. And it's presented in the format of like an ancient horizontal Chinese scroll. And like the very edge of it is fractured, like where it's peeling the scroll, and you can see that it's digital, like it's coming through like a transmission. Because of course it looks like it's the past, but it's not. It's 3288.
Interesting. That's a great way to convey that. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah. It's gonna like all things. It's gonna have twists and turns, and it turns out it's the future.
Dun dun dun. Spoiler.
Yeah, spoiler. that part is not really a spoiler because
I know you're like that's one of the draws to the book, Laurie.
Yeah. Well, and it starts out because technically it is in the Water Wars universe, right? It's 1,000 years later.
And I love that too. That like a lot of your stories are just all woven together, and it's like this is a different aspect of this world that we have built. So you might see crossover, and you could see Easter eggs of the other stories in this world, and
and there's even
I've
done 1 or 2 things too with the novel where there's 1 or 2 chapters which you could sort of chop out, and it's a standalone short story.
That's cool.
Yeah, like one of them is like I'll just give you a quick blurb because it's, I know we don't want to burn up your whole time with talking about the novel, but it is it's 1,000 years in the future. It's 3288 after this big plague. Everyone has
Yeah.
died. Civilization is just barely hanging on. It's like an agrarian monarchy. It's, and they're susceptible to famines and floods, and they're barely surviving. And they've kind of got this weird society that's holding it all together with all these rules. And one day a foreigner washes up on a shipwrecked vehicle, and he's still alive, and he's one of the survivors. And anyway, everybody is so terrified to see the face of a white barbarian that they kill the guy. It's like a Lord of the Flies.
Yeah.
So the civilians kill the last survivor. Yeah. It's a barbarian. It's a foreigner.
Dun, dun, dun.
And he's like in this white ship and all this futuristic stuff. Like the implication is that he was an American. They got
Oh
shipwrecked.
no. They're like, kill him! Kill him now before he takes over.
Yeah, it's a little bit like Game of Thrones too. Like it's got,
nice.
there's like an emperor. It's two brothers and they're
I
striving.
only laughed because in Game of Thrones it had the it's known for just killing off anybody. So when you compare yourself to Game of Thrones, we're all prepared for like Sean Bean to be like, "Hey guys, I'm the main character. You like me? Dead."
Right? Yeah. It's funny, you see Sean Bean in a movie, you know that he ain't gonna make
The
it.
only movie that I was for sure he was gonna die and he didn't, Silent Hill. I was like, no way he's gonna survive it.
Yeah, you know what? I
Totally
didn't
did.
see that one. I got to see. I love Silent Hill. I mean, I played all the games, but I didn't see
It was
that
pretty
movie.
good. I liked the movie. They did it justice. It's definitely creepy. It has some moments where I was just like, I don't want to watch it. I can't look away.
Did
But I
you
don't want to
know
watch
that
it.
by any chance, did you play the Silent Hill video game?
No, that's one
The
of them I
street
have not
names, he
played.
has to look at the map to tell where to go. And in Silent
Yeah.
Hill, the video game, the street names are all named after famous horror writers. It's King Street and Hill Street and Matheson Street.
Cool.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
It's a nice little Easter egg. Well, my friend, it is that time. I can't believe 2 hours have flown by. So let's recap. Let's say tell everybody where they can find you. Make sure everybody that has a prize coming that I have your email, Pops, Hugo, Lou, Glenn, and Chad. I'll reach out to you if I haven't heard from you. We want to make sure that Tim has your email so he can send you over that free PDF copy, the free digital copy of Water Wars. I'm excited for that.
Yeah, and
I
thanks
don't get one.
thanks for participating. I'll send you one too, Laurie.
Oh, yay! See, it worked. Pity party. Let's see where we can follow Tim and make sure. I know a ton of you hopped on the YouTube channel, which is awesome.
Oh yeah, I'll show that.
Are you at 300? I'm just curious. Let's go look.
295.
So close.
So if I get 5 more, guys, I will play the bass solo on the video for all of your enjoyment. And it'll be a ripping one too, I promise.
Cool. Welcome to our new friend, Tim.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you, Laurie. I always really have a good time on your show, and you're very kind and thoughtful to your guests, and I appreciate that very much.
Absolutely. And I appreciate you coming on. It's one of those things where, it's hard when you are trying to keep a calendar, and of course, not everybody can make it when they're supposed to come. And again, no hard feelings to any of the guests that cancel. It's just, I know it's part of life, but keeping, good quality guests coming on, and so we can have a great show is important. So I appreciate you stepping up and being like, I will come on.
Yeah.
It works out for everybody. So
Cool.
Where can people find you?
You can find me on Facebook. I'm Timothy Fling. And on YouTube, I'm at Timothy Fling. And I'm also earthdogstudios.com. I'm on Kickstarter fairly regular, but right now I'm focusing on the fulfillment, which you're going to have an announcement about that on Friday night.
And please, if you have not come to check out Path of the Pale Rider trade paperback, we got 9 days left. I got to send out a whole bunch of updates for returning backers. But of course, we have some cool stuff. If you haven't gotten our plushie, I have a few of those left. I know, Tim, I'm sorry. But I'm also going to we have this really cool glass.
I'm pulling your leg.
I know, but this glass is actually part of the story. It was drawn in. This was the reference picture I used for the glass in issue number 1. And I found them. So you can actually get the glass from issue number 1 that Jude drops and wakes up Big James. You can add those on as well. And of course, these books, I'm going to open up 3 more spots as add-ons for the beautiful hand-bound books. So I would love to make some more. Please, you get to pick out your color, and we get to have it be 100% unique. So it's just for you. And then, of course, we have unlocked poker cards. We got more poker cards. We got more of everything coming. This is our next one that we will unlock is the temporary tattoos. So these are super cool, and I'm looking forward to these. If we get further, we have Path of the Pale Sauce and, of course, enamel pins. So
neat.
All good stuff. All good stuff. And I appreciate everybody that has come. This is awesome, and I can't wait to get everything into everybody's hands, and then we will start the next one. So thank you again, everybody. Next week is, like I said, reigning champion of the Tuesday Morning Brew, Corissa Grant. She will be hanging out. We'll be nerding out together.
I'll come say hi.
Yeah, of course. And then showing off her campaign and all the cool stuff. I already got my stuff. I got the Salamanders cover, so you get to go pick out yours. And make sure that you are nice to each other and kiss your babies. And we'll see you all next week.
Consequences.
Comic Books for Kids provides comic books to kids in hospitals and cancer centers across the U.S. It's a place where we can all work together to make sure every child has a comic book. 100% of all proceeds go towards the kids. It's about making a difference, and while they're in the hospital, allowing them to fly like a superhero, battle dragons, or rescue teddy bears. We are in every state in the country and now support over 160 hospitals. Every month, we add more.
Visit CB4